Hello, my name is Finest White, and I'm the owner and CEO of Phoenix Estate and Holdings. From a young age, I've watched my family's real estate presence grow. My father owned several properties and was licensed as a loan officer. Upon turning 24, I enrolled and completed the South Carolina Realtors exam and purchased my first home in South Carolina. 4 years later, I purchased my second home in Maryland and have looked at the real estate market with interest ever since. My accomplishments and experience include 8 years as a military officer, 8 years as a property owner, and 5 years managing property in 2 different locations. The issues that I have noticed during my observation of the sales of property by friends, family, and colleagues is that with a slight amount more effort, the property being sold could have commanded a much higher value. This is where Phoenix Estate and Holdings steps in. Our business targets the specific niche of sellers who want to increase the value of their property by performing minor renovations and cosmetic upgrades. When we look at the external factors of this niche in the real estate market, we saw that they were becoming more increasingly enticing to buyers, which means that home sales were increasing. This trend, coupled with the relatively low interest rate, makes for a large amount of potential clients. Many areas are still looking at a 3 to 4% annual increase in home purchases in the next few years. Subsequently, this means that there will be a steady stream of sellers for my company to service. The areas that Phoenix Estate and Holdings plan to explore include 4 main groups. Banking and financial groups with large inventories of foreclosed, REO, and distressed properties, military members selling homes after a short period of ownership, flippers, or professionals who specialize in buying and selling homes for profit, and any sellers interested in performing cosmetic upgrades to their property. Who are our competitors? Not many people specialize in this area. However, the few competitors that we do have are realtors interested in increasing the value of their client's property and general contractors looking for minor jobs. The competitive advantage that realtors have is the professional connections they share within the industry. What sets us apart from our competitors? There are 2 main primary differences that distinguish us from the rest. First, the mixture of training and experience that my employees have enable them to tackle many different types of issues faced in a project. If we are faced with anything from simple cosmetic upgrades to building code violations and outside curb appeal to the increase of value in a kitchen, we're equipped to handle them. We can make recommendations for any part of the property and be confident that those recommendations will attract more interested buyers and raise value. Second, we only subcontract jobs to the highest rated contractors in their respective fields. Research shows that it takes at least 3 weeks to fully examine a contractor, their work, and quality of work, and their required legal documentation. Studies also show that 40% of the times when projects deviate from their plan, the cause lies with substandard personnel performing the job. How do I know what my customers need? I recently finished a renovating a foreclosure and turning it into a home. Since this was a personal project, I used personal funds and complete the renovations. The modifications took nearly 2 years, but during this time I was faced with most problems that my employees would face working with a client's property. Obviously, the time frame would have to be much shorter when servicing clients, but many of the recommendations would be similar. I purchased 2 homes and taken part in 10 to 15 minor renovations. I believe I know what sells. My company does have a few key factors that will enable it to be successful. One of the aforementioned factors is low overhead costs. Low overhead costs are important in limiting the amount of money being spent to sustain the business. My business is a home-based business, which means the expenses for items such as location, network infrastructure, and utility costs are low. Phoenix will start with 3 employees and will add additional employees as the amount of work requires us to. The employees possess several skill sets that will be critical in making Phoenix successful. My employees and I have experience in real estate sales, building structures, interior design, project management, and landscaping. The business structure we plan to use is relatively straightforward. We have realized that as a newly started company, we do not have the presence with customers yet. We have decided that 4 main venues would be the best mediums for advertisement. Social media such as Facebook, Twitter, and Yahoo Ads. These sites reach a large amount of people with relatively little effort and money spent. Online deal sites such as Groupon's, Living Social, KGB Deals, and Amazon. These sites will capture the savvy customers looking for a deal. Also, these sites deliver advertisements directly to consumers via email and direct communication. Weekly advertisements will capture the attention of consumers who do not take part in online activities. Lastly, even though I have listed realtors as a competitor, I also believe that this is an instance they can be a source of clientele. Similarly to our company, realtors operate within a time frame when selling a house. I believe that if we establish a good relationship with some realtors and are able to prove that Phoenix can increase their profit, they will be willing to establish a professional relationship with us. The target group for the niche we are pursuing again are banks and financial groups with a large inventory of foreclosures, REOs, and distressed properties. In 2010 and 2011, foreclosed properties reached 3.8 and 3.9 million homes, respectively. 2012 saw a drop in these numbers, but were still just over 2.3 million. There are huge numbers of foreclosures and repossessed homes in the custody of banks nationwide. So many, in fact, that banks are willing to sell these properties as is just to no longer be responsible for them. I believe that if we market our services to these companies and show our capabilities, we could gain their business. Military members selling their home after a short period of ownership. It is no secret that military members are forced to relocate due to mission constraints with little advance notice. Our services will help troops quickly perform renovations and upgrades and give those owners the extra edge needed to sell for a higher return on investment. Flippers, or professionals who specialize in building and selling houses for profit. Partnering with groups that specialize in this niche would be very beneficial to both my company and theirs. The continuous business that the company would bring would help our growth, and likewise the quality and professionalism of my company would ensure their projects are completed with the highest quality and within budget and time constraints. Lastly, any sellers interested in performing cosmetic upgrades to their property. Many homeowners, though they may not be selling, would just like an upgraded look to their homes. We would like to be known as the one-stop shop for cosmetic upgrades and minor renovations. Our future plan includes scouting and moving into new areas as the rising real estate market allows us to. Right now, it seems that it would be beneficial to target markets such as Northern Virginia, Southern Maryland, Washington, D.C., Charlotte, North Carolina, and Phoenix, Arizona. Our research shows that these areas have markets that are in the process of rebounding. Within 1 year, we would like to target several areas in Florida and possibly Texas. Within 2 years, we would also like to begin targeting buyers who have purchased properties in which no work has been performed before the sale. Banks and finance companies often sell as-is properties to quickly unload inventory. This leaves the responsibility of repairs and renovations squarely on the shoulders of the new owners. We would like to restore these properties to move-in ready conditions after the point of purchase. As property sales increase, there will be many new owners who, in the interest of trying to save money, purchased a foreclosed home. However, many will need the services of a company like Phoenix Estate and Holdings to turn these housing projects into their dream home.